Good morning, folks. It's November 13, 2022. One of my favorite weekends of the entire year. It's opening weekend for gun deer season here in Missouri. But I'm not going to go shoot deer today. I'm going to Lake of the Ozarks and shoot some docks. We'll see if I can catch some crappie under the docks down there. This is when I usually get started. The big boats are winterized, the temperature's dropping. A lot of times you can get that lake to yourself, but those fish start schooling up in huge schools. They'll get up under the docks. If you can find them under there, you can just slay them sometimes. Just sit in one spot and catch one after the other. But those big schools, they'll roam, and you can find them out in open water. You just got to use your side scan, find those big schools, and get on them. A lot of great ways to catch those fish this time of the year, and when they get in those big schools, you can shoot them under the docks, like I said. You can just simply cast to them with a jig. You can take a cork in a minnow or a cork in a jig and cork them. There's just a lot of different ways. I even like to throw a jerk bait at them sometimes when the water gets real cold and they get real lethargic, and just sit there and take that old suspended jerk bait and jerk it around in front of them, and sometimes they'll just knock the daylight out of it. But I'm excited to get back down to Lake of the Ozarks and try to do a little dock shooting. Like I say, we may try a whole bunch of different techniques, but hope you'll come go with me. If you do and you like the video, I hope you'll subscribe, hit the notification bell, share it, do all those things. But let's get started. I'm gonna head over to the garage, get the boat, and we're gonna go south. Come go with me. Okay, folks, I'll before we take off here this morning, I'll show you my lineup, what I've got set up for today's fishing, headed down to the Lake of the Ozarks. For dock shooting, I've got 4 rods rigged up. Every one of the rods are B&M sharpshooter rods. They're 6-foot rods. This is my favorite dock shooting rod out there. I've tried all of them. I like this rod. I shoot a 6-foot rod. Some people like a longer rod. If I do anything, I'll go to a shorter rod. I'm a little vertically challenged, and my arms aren't the longest in the world, and I just personally like a 6-foot rod. I team it with either this 75th anniversary series B&M reel or a B&M Pro 100 reel. I like the size of the spools on these reels, and they're perfect for dock shooting. Okay, the first bait I've got lined up, my number one probably favorite bait for dock shooting on Lake of the Ozarks, is just a 1/16 ounce orange jig head, which I tie with a loop knot. That's a 2-inch muddy water monkey glow bait. I've caught so many fish shooting docks with this bait. It's just my bait I always start with and see what happens from there. My number 2 bait for shooting docks on Lake of the Ozarks, again, it's a 16th ounce orange head. I'm just partial to orange. I don't know why I seem to catch more fish at Lake of the Ozarks with an orange head. If I'm not using orange, I usually use pink, but that's just a Bobby Garland baby shad in a blue ice color. Now I take a dye marker and I put a little chartreuse dye stripe down the side on each side, just a little something I do that seems to have improved my catch rate over the years. But it's just a 2-inch Bobby Garland baby shad blue ice. I also always have rigged up a Southern Pro curly tail grub in yellow and white. If those fish want to chase a bait, if I'm swimming it up close to underneath the foam in the dock, that bait just seems to be very effective. So I always have one of those tied on. And then finally, I'll always have a 1/32 ounce jig head rigged up. I never know if they want it falling real slow or real fast. I start out with a 1/16 ounce. If it seems like they want something falling slower, I'll go to a 1/32 ounce. And then of course, if they want something faster than a 1/16 ounce fall, I'll put something heavier on. And so I've got this 1/32 ounce jig. That's got a red sickle hook on it because that's what I had in a 1/32 ounce jig head. But that's a living the dream. It's like a monkey milk with a chartreuse tail. That's a good looking bait. I'm eager to try that out. Then if I get into corking these fish, if I find them in big groups and I want to start corking them, I've got 2 rigs I set up for corking. This is a 9-foot B&M Sam's Super Sensitive, and I've got a fixed cork rigged up on it. Just cork, again, 1/16 ounce orange jig head with a plastic on it. If I'm throwing a fixed cork rig, I like to have a longer rod, and that's why I use this 9-foot rod. If I'm fishing for fish that are 6 to 7 feet deep or shallower, I like to use a fixed cork. But if I'm fishing deeper than 6 or 7 feet, it's just too bulky for me to throw a fixed cork. Again, that arm length plays a role, and leg length. So I go to a slip bobber rig. And if I'm pitching a slip bobber rig, then I like this 75th anniversary. This is a 7.5 foot rod from B&M. It's a great rod. And I always use this B&M Pro 100 reel or that 75th anniversary series reel. I like a 7.5 foot rod for pitching a slip cork, and I'll show you a little video after this on how I tie that slip cork. Everybody probably knows, but I should probably talk about the line. On my bobber rigs, I just use a clear 8-pound K9 fluorocarbon line. On my dock shooting rigs, I'll use a 6-pound K9 fluorescent, or not fluorescent, but fluorocarbon high-vis line. I like the high-vis when I'm shooting docks because a lot of times those fish, they'll just hit that bait and make that line jump. You need to be able to see that line. But I don't need to see that line when I'm corking, obviously, because I'm paying attention to that cork. Although you can see the line jump sometimes as well. But and then finally, I've just got a pitching rod. Again, that 7.5 foot B&M 75 series with the 75 series B&M reel. I've got 5-pound crappie braid on this for just pitching to them if I find them all in the brush pile or in a big wad out there, big school, and I want to pitch to them. For Lake of the Ozarks, that water's pretty clear, so I actually put a 8-pound fluorocarbon leader on the end of this braid for Lake of the Ozarks. I don't do that for Truman. That water's dirty enough, I don't think you need to. And I'm not sure you need to at Lake of the Ozarks, but I just do. So that's kind of it. One other little thing I do before I get ready to go dock shooting is I take a little line conditioner. This is Real Magic. There's all kinds of different line conditioners out there, but I just like to take some line conditioner and spray the line on each of my reels. It just seems like it relaxes the line, makes it more pliable, whatever kind of line you're using, and makes it come off the spool better when you're shooting docks. Okay, so I'll also show you how I tie my slip bobber rig. A lot of people ask me about that. I like to use these Thill slip bobbers. They have a brass top opening, and because they have this little larger top opening, I use a bobber stop that comes with a bead. So I use these type of bobber stops that you can buy most tackle stores, but they have a along with the bobber stop, they have a little bead. And so you just take the end of your line coming off your reel and run it through the loop in that bobber stop. Pull a little line through there, and then what you're doing is you're pulling that bead and that bobber stop right down on the line until it clears that tag in. And so what you end up with is your bead and your bobber stop. So then you take the end of your line and you simply take your slip bobber and you run that end of your line down through the slip bobber out the bottom. And then I'm going to use like I showed you, I'm going to use this 16th ounce jig head. I'm just going to use a Palomar knot. So I'll fold it over. Run it through the eye of that jig. Just tie an overhand knot. Then take the loop in over the jig and pull it tight. And that's the Palomar knot. Now what I do, sometimes these slip bobbers, when they go down, if they're big enough, like that one, see that the hole in the end of this slip bobber is big enough that it can go over the eye of that jig. And sometimes they'll hang up like that. So to prevent that, I mean, you could put another bobber stop and a bead down there if you wanted, but I just take a real small split shot and pinch that on my line just above the jig head. And so then that bobber can't get beyond that split shot. And that also adds a little weight to my jig head or the jig end of the line to help pull it down some. And so that's it. It's just that simple. I've got my bobber stop, bead, slip bobber, split shot, and then my jig head. And so you just take the bobber stop, obviously, and pull it up the line however deep you want to be fishing. And that's it. That's how I tie my slip bobber. Oh, there's some fish. There's some fish up under that dock. See all that right there? Those are crappie, I believe. I'm gonna turn around and fish that dock. Holy moly, folks, look at the fish. Wow, they're about 30 feet out that way. I don't know if I'm gonna get to them or not. Wow, what a mess of fish. Right here's an opening, but they're right on the edge of that opening right there. I don't know if you can see right there. Those fish in this dock are about 30 feet out in there. I don't know if I'll be able to reach them. Might have to go around and see if we can get to them from the other side. Wow, what a mess of fish. Have to explore what openings we have here. All right, well, let's get a bait. Let's see what we can do. See what these fish are wanting to do today. Wow, right there. Just don't know how to get to them. See if we can get one in this opening. It's kind of right on the edge, but it's not exactly where they are. Uh-oh, and that one doesn't have an opening going back very far. How do I get to them? There's a few straggler fish right there. I still know how, I guess. Been a while. And we got to see if we can get to these fish. There he is. Oh, I got right on the edge of him, I think. Barely got in there. Here's the first one. Nice little crappie. Little black crappie. On the old muddy water I showed you. Nice little crappie. Number one. That didn't take long. Well, I don't know if you can see it. There's just a little bitty opening right there, and it's kind of right on the edge of where those fish are. I'll have to get the right angle. There we go. All right, let's see. Come on. Oh, I just can't hardly get to them. Just can't get the right angle to get up in there. I got lucky on that first one. That's about as far up in there as I can get from here. Let it kind of fall. Ah, man, there's so many fish under there. Look at that screen. My gosh, that's where they are. Look like some pretty good fish too. All right, I just can't get to them from over here. Let's see if we can go around the other side. I'm not gonna reach them from here. Not gonna reach them from here. I don't know if you can see in there. That covered area back there is where all those fish are stacked up. There's one little opening over here. I have to shoot over this one and into that one. And I don't think I can shoot that far to get under that other area I need to be under. Oh, there's a fish. Got one to come after it. Yeah, he's down there a little ways too. Yeah, come on, come on. All right, if I can get him over that dock now. He's pulling pretty good. That's a crappie. Maybe a bass. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I'm hung up on it. It's still on there. What did you get hung up on? I don't think that's a crappie, folks. I got him on something. Now I'm in the corner of the dock. Oh, come on up now. What in the world do I have here? Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. A bass. It's pulling too hard for a crappie. Got him out of there anyway. All right. Dadgummit. A lot of work. Stretch my string anyway. It'll take the curl out of it. That old K9 line's tough. Just 6 pound. Oh, there we go. That got up under there a little bit. I don't know how far back in there they are. Obviously didn't reach them. I think they're too far. They're right on the edge of that platform over by the jet skis. I can't get to them for the jet ski lift on that side, and I can't reach them from this side. Still just can't reach them from over here. All right, back to the other side. I think I'm gonna go to that next dock over there. Let's see while we're here. This is a real deep area out here. It's a bluff, as you can see. Man, it comes out to like 70 feet of water on the very ends of these docks. These fish like to hold up under these great big docks over deep water at times. We'll see if today's one of them. This dock usually has some fish under it, but oh wow. Yeah, you think there's some fish back there? Ooh, we might be able to get to them. Again, it's on that big platform area back there, back toward the back side of the dock. Seems to be where they're holding over here. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Right there. There he is. There he is. Right where they're on the graph. Oh yeah. Another nice little black crappie keeper. Yes, sir. Not keeping any fish today. Just fishing for the fun of it. I love shooting docks. Oh, he hit it on the way down. I'm just kind of letting it fall. It's not very deep right here. It's only about 9 feet deep right here on the front edge of this bluff. Boy, it drops off sharp, so quickly. There we go. Just reel it real slow. See. Oh, something followed it. Nudged on it. Dadgummit. Boy, I'm just not quite getting to them. Just right on the edge of where they're located, I think. These fish know how to hide. They know how to hide. I just can't quite do it there. Let's go back here. There ought to be some. There's a big platform out here. You'd think they'd be up under it too, but they're liking it more back toward the back of the dock, it looks like, so far. Yeah, they're 25 feet right out there. They're back underneath that back one. Just can't reach them. It's green. Let's go to the other side of the dock, see how far they spread out over there. Maybe they'll be all the way to the other side. I can't get to them from this side. There they are, just barely. They're 20 feet out there. Not gonna reach them from here. There's a huge school of crappie under this dock, folks. They're back more toward that side, but I can't get to them from that side. Just can't reach them. There's no opening. Thought maybe if I came over here I could get to them, but they're too far that way. Just can't reach them from here. We're gonna go down to this other dock, see if we can get on them. This dock I'm coming up to now is the one I first saw the fish on the side scan, and by the time I shut down I saw that dock there. Just started using the live scope, but there ought to be some fish under this dock over here, and I hope we can get to them. All right, let's see if we can find them on the live scope. We saw them on the side scan. Yep. Yeah, I guess so. We'll catch some of those fish, I think. I believe we can get to them. Wow, look at that. They start at 14 feet. Those look like some pretty good fish, too. Yes, sir. Just gonna let it fall. Oh, he already hit it. We're gonna catch some fish here, folks. I'm predicting. Oh, gosh. He had it. There he is. Boy, that thing was way down there. I mean, I just let it fall and let it fall. Almost thinking I couldn't get any deeper. Little black crappie. Fish was deep now. Those fish are scattered though, all the way from the surface to deep now. Oh, that was a beautiful throw there. I'm gonna let it sink a little bit, and then I'm gonna just start reeling it. Oh, chasing it down. Won't eat it. Don't tell me they're gonna do that to me today. Come on. That's a good shot. If I don't catch one on this fall, I'm gonna leave them. Go try to find some more active fish. Just incredible, folks. I don't know. I mean, once you look at the pile of fish under there, loaded. We've been through them and been through them. Seems like you catch one or two right off the bat, and then they just won't bite. I'm gonna shoot one more time in here, and then we're gonna go see if we can find some more active fish. There's one. Just as I say I'm going to leave, and then I catch one. Not a real big fish, but be a keeper. All right. Try it again. Okay, I said it before, but I'm going to say it again. One more time. Of course, that one more time doesn't count if you catch a fish on that one more time shot. Now, if you say one more time and you don't catch fish, you got to go. Never happens. Okay, I said one more time, I shot one more time, I'm gone. We're gonna go look around, see if we can find some more active fish. Stay with me. Okay, get lined up here in the wind. See where they're at. Right, should be all along underneath this float right here. There, he followed it. Boy, they're following it, just not wanting to hit it. Just nipping at it. A little black crappie. Reluctant biters. Boy, it seems like that's the story of my life lately. There he is, way down there. Way down there. It seems like the deeper fish are the fish that are biting. There's a little white crappie there. It's a nice fish. Nice little white crappie. Got that on a little Bobby Garland blue ice. Broke my muddy water off. Gonna have to retie. That's what's part of this dock shooting business. Be prepared to retie a lot. Oh, that ought to catch one. Oh, he had it. He had it. Come on now. They're just not real aggressive, folks. There he is, way down there, right out in the front of the dock. Another little black crappie. Gosh, and all the fish. This lake is full of crappie, folks. I mean, full of crappie. There he is. There's one. Same one. Same size. Broke my jig off. About time to retie, I'd say. Okay. Okay, folks, I've moved over to another dock. There's some fish out here. These fish are hanging up a little higher in the water column. Some of them are, some of them aren't, but more out toward the front of this dock. You know, folks, there's some fish out here schooled up right out here along the front of these docks. If you can see that on the live scope. I'm going to get my old cork out, throw it around here a little bit. And I want it down about 10 feet, so I'm going to go to my slip bobber setup. I'm going to set that to about 10 feet. I'm going to go back to my monkey glow color. I'm going to shorten it up even. I'm just going to cut part of the head off of that. And I'm going to get a nibble. Put a little nibble on there. One coming after it. Got him. Boy, that didn't take long. Maybe that's what they want, a little still presentation, a nibble. That little white crappie. All right, this will be fun if we can catch them like this. I'll just throw my old cork right back in there. Oh, man. All right. Oh, that's a nice fish there. That is a crappie. I think it's a bat. No, man. Oh, my gosh. That's a nice one. There you go. Look at there, a little change. That's a dandy fish there. Oh, I could sit here and do this all day. That'll work. Just got to experiment, folks. That's a nice fish there. Let's see what that fish weighs. See how long it is, too. Too big to go in the thing. I don't know how long he is. He's over 30, about 13 and a half. See what that little fish weighs. Man, if they'll come do that, folks, we're going to have some fun. That fish weighs 108. Nice fish. All right. I got a pretty good sized cork on there, folks. I do that for the purpose of the camera, try to be able to see it better. I typically like to have about as small a cork as I can get away with, but this one's jumbo. Doesn't seem to bother the fish though, does it? He's coming after it. Got him. Oh yeah. Oh, now this is fun. You want to bring your kids fishing? This is about as fun and easy as it gets. Tie you up a slip cork or fixed cork. Get you a jig or some minnows. Them kids like to mess with those minnows. Locate you a school of fish. Get around these docks. Throw it in there. They'll fish the rest of their life if you do that. I know it hooked me. He's biting it. Got him. Oh yeah. That reluctant bite, they like that thing just sitting there, I guess. Entices them. Whew. Another little white crappie. All right. These cork fish gonna do the same as those shooting fish. Catch 2 or 3 of them and then the rest of them say, uh-uh. Got him. Boy, he had it and just was sitting there with it. A little better fish there too. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. A little black. I'm telling you, there is a huge school of fish right there. But they are not in the feeding mood. Okay, they still wise to it. Let's make a move. Oh, there's some fish. There's some fish under that dock. But we know that that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Gotta make them bite. Oh, that's way back there. That's way back there. There he is. Boy, that's just unbelievable. They just do not want to take it. They'll follow it and mouth it, but they are not very aggressive today. That's for sure. There's one. There's one. I threw that in there. That's that little 1/32 ounce. That's a better fish there. 1/32 ounce with that little living the dream, like monkey milk and chartreuse tail. I counted it down to about 10 and then just started reeling it real slow. Got a reaction. Let's try that again. This fish been kind of hanging about 10 feet deep, so we can kind of keep it in the strike zone. There's another one. Same way. Same way. All right. Yeah, that's a pretty decent little fish there too. Maybe we figured out a technique and a bait. Yeah. White crappie there. All right. That's fun. Got him, by golly. We might have figured a little something out here. They're wanting it just moving real slow down there. Count to 10. Yeah, it's fun. Ooh, that's a good one. That's 10. Oh, he's nibbling it. I felt him. Got him. Yeah. Huh. Oh, yeah. That's fun when they start to bite. Frustrating when you see a big school of them. Watch them chase it around, but they won't take it, or totally ignore it. Okay, little buddy. Okay, folks, that's going to do it for me today. It's about 2:30. I don't know what time I got started, 9:30 or so, something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, caught a few fish shooting docks. Caught a few on the cork. They're big schools, just like I expected to find, but they're kind of a tough bite right now. You go in there and catch 3 or 4. The rest of them won't bite. But it's been fun. Been a beautiful day. Light wind. A little chilly in the upper 20s. Probably in the mid 30s right now, but that's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I hope you'll subscribe, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the bell, hit all that stuff. It really helps out the channel. Thanks for being with me.